putting these things down?
Okay, so I'll take it back to what Sagia said. The fact that it is, to an extent, people will tell you that the formula is in the Quran, so it's already written.
Right.
Can I be better than the author of the Quran, who is Allah? So what do I want to write down that is better than what Allah has written down?
Okay.
But what we will now need to let them know is that in writing down, you have to have two things in mind. Who are you speaking to? Which now comes to your question when you want to write this thing down. And what are your intentions? Who are you speaking to being professional? So people just assume that once I'm talking to the imam of my mosque, he might be able to assist me, forgetting that Islamic law of inheritance goes deeper than what a lot of people understand. So there's need to speak to an Islamic professional, Islamic estate planning professional, to assist you when you want to take this bold step. Because, Rotimi, there are different instruments you can use for Islamic estate planning, and that's an entirely different ball game.
Okay.
But most people just think will, which is awasiya, my will, my awasiya. But there are so many other ways that people can pass inheritance to different people that they are not even aware of. They even, maybe some of their imams are not even abreast of. So speak to a professional when you want to take that bold step.
Let me go to Senator. Mutiat has just, that's Capone, has just simply said there are different instruments. Maybe just for the benefit of our listeners, all those watching us, just let's know the different instruments that are available.
So basically, when you say instrument, it now falls back to the tools applied in the distribution of estate planning or asset from a deceased. So of course, al-wasiya falls in. We have al-wasiya, we have waf, which is the Islamic foundation or charity. We also have the hibba, a form of gift. Which you can, just like Capone has said, and also Sagi. So during the lifetime of one as a Muslim, in as much as the Islam has laid down principles on how you distribute your asset, it also gives one that avenue to be able to utilize 1/3 on how you wish to do so by yourself. Now, you are doing that without also depriving your dependent or beneficiaries of their real inheritance rights based on what you have acquired during your lifetime. Right, so now we can just take an example. Chief Rotimi, I believe, of course, you have a lot of dependent and charitable things that you do, up to your village and all community. So you can imagine that you have maybe a servant who has been diligently working with you for maybe decades, who is not a direct, heir to you. So during the course of your lifetime, this person has always depended on you and all for education, feeding and all. And you know that if you are not there, possibly there's high possibility that none of your family member will continue doing what you have been doing for this person. So that's why Islam now gave you that avenue to use 1/3 to make a wish, a gift, where al-wasiya come to play. So you can put it in writing, in as much as your heir actually know what they are entitled to based on the Islamic principles. You can use that 1/3 to actually take care of this particular servant or dependent that you have that is actually not a direct beneficiary. So in order for you to put things right, because not doing that, because just like Capone has said, Islam is actually a direct way of life. So there is nothing that Islam has not discussed or actually foresaw that it will come. That's why you have all these avenues. Okay,
so Sagi, I know that on the so I'm going to distribution now, and I hear that there's 2/3, there's 1/3, but not all assets are that divisible. So it would appear to some of us just listening, and I'm sure that a lot of people listening and watching us are saying, how easy is it for you to distribute an asset? You take 2/3, you take 1/3. So I'll come to you. Where people are faced with distribution, what's the steps that they should traditionally take to address all of those concerns?
Well, thank you very much. So I think one can look at it from the point of view of value attached to assets in question, right?
Okay.
Because again, that's about the easiest, because if you want to apply to third, for instance, if you look at houses, I would think you could have a house that is worth 1 billion, and a house that is worth 10 million. Yeah, so if you use that to distribute, some people just may be unhappy and all that. Right. And again, that is just one type of asset, that different type of other assets that one may have. So I will think that looking at probably the monetary value of these assets may make it a lot more straightforward in terms of determining where this 2/3 falls, which is the 1/3 that you want to now deal with in other ways.
Yeah, because I know that we once had a client that had an estate planning instrument with us, a business interest, and the family members just thought that, look, we can go and collect this thing from these people, but then realized that it was not that straightforward because you have an Islamic instrument in place. Right. And so which then speaks to the fact that it is important that you have these things documented. Because like ADM said, you can easily disinherit people. So let me just try and close with Capone as we try and round up this show. Is there probate in Islamic estate planning?
Okay, so probate applies across board.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that maybe that would just be an avenue too.
No, probate applies across board, because if you have cash in the bank, even if it's an Islamic bank, you can't just walk in and say, my dad had an awasiya, and he says he has an account with you, so give us the money. How am I so sure that the money you want to collect is even part of your own 2/3? There has to be someone administering it, and that's why you need to have it written, because Islam has said this is the formula.
Yeah.
But Islam has also allowed you to pick who will apply the formula, and that's why you have to have it documented and say, in the event of my demise, these are the clerics I'm appointing as my executors. If disputes arise, these are the people that I want to adjudicate. Because we've seen instances where, like Sage said, someone even had an Islamic will, or someone died as a Muslim, and they are fighting, and it goes to the typical conventional courts. The conventional judge is not going to apply Islamic law when he's adjudicating over that kind of case.
Why not?
Because they will use the normal laws that we use, which is the English law. Except you now you want to go to the north and start looking for Sharia courts, and then people now start saying he's a Yoruba man. Why are you going to the north to have his? So all of these things could arise so just have it written down, but it will go through probate. An estate account to be opened. If you have pension as well, your PFA would not release the money to Rotimi, because Rotimi is even named as next of kin, but that's an entirely different ball game. You have to obtain letters of administration or grants of probate before you can administer the estate of a deceased Muslim.
So we'll close the show now, but I'll just ask us for final thoughts. Again, I'll start with Sagi. I started with you, so I'll end with you. Let's go, final thoughts.
Thank you very much, Saro. Just as an addition to the last point made by Capone. So the thing is, we are in a world where, of course, there are different laws and all that. And from the example she gave, it's one thing to say that I have 5 houses, you want to distribute it this way. It's another thing to now talk about access to some types of assets that there are some laws governing it. And a good example are bank account, pension fund administration. Nobody would even listen to you. You get, so that I also believe that even in Islam, there is a way of doing things in line with what authorities have put in place also. Right, so in as long as it's not like whatever you've done, put in the will is against Islamic principles, there's nothing stopping you from now making it go through that approach to make sure that there are no issues at all, particularly relating to assets that you have to access through some other types of laws.
Funky Malam, thank you. Final thoughts?
Final thought, basically doing the right thing is actually planning well. So just like we all have agreed here, it's just basic for you to do the right thing. I mean, the Prophet has said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that we shouldn't pass 2 nights without bequeathing what we acquire. So even if it's just this cup that I have as an asset, as a Muslim, I should be able to...
And the drink inside.
Yeah. Exactly, and the drink inside. I should be able to say how I want it to be used when I'm not there. I mean, who should use this cup? Who should also take from the drink that is inside.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. So that's basically putting the writing so that you don't know maybe what is inside is actually forbidden for a particular person, and then tomorrow the person decides to say, okay, because my dad passed on, I'm this, I'm that, based on this, I should be able to take this. And then by the time you taste it, it now becomes something that you will regret for the rest of your life. So basically, that's the message.
Wow. And Capone?
Okay, so for me, when you think Islamic estate planning, think Islamic estate planning professional as well.
Okay.
You cannot do it yourself. So reach out to a professional to assist you.
So thank you guys. It's been an amazing time well spent.
Guys and lady.
Oh, guys.
Guys and lady.
Discussing Islamic estate planning. Where else can you find this kind of information? Better FBN Quest Trustees. This show, The Legacy Room, is brought to you by FBN Quest Trustees. You would find our numbers scrolling through. There are email addresses that you can reach us on. If you would like to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button so you can get notifications when a new post comes out. Until next time, when we meet again, this is Saru, and with our normal way of telling our viewers or listeners, is what?
Bye.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.